Brody, Brazil. A's have taken game one of this series. They'll try and clinch it right now with the broadcast. Enjoy.
It's the final day of August, and the A's, they've already posted their second consecutive winning month with last night's victory over the Texas Rangers. Back at it for Game 2 here at Globe Life Field. Welcome along this Saturday evening. Jenny Kavnar, Dallas Braden with you, and hopefully the swinging A's just keep doing what they've been doing, hitting home runs, scoring 9 runs. They've done that the last 3 nights, and really, Dallas, they've been doing it in the late innings, which is nice to see.
And Jenny, I think if you rewind and go all the way back to the beginning of the season, there's some things in common with the beginning of the season and the beginning of baseball games, and that's the A's were able to score runs, but after that, the offense would go dormant. What you have seen now is a long list of guys who have started to step up, get big hits in big spots, runners in scoring position with 2 outs, but the biggest knock you can get, the clutchest knock you can get late in the ball game, 7th inning and later, they're hitting over 400 as a group. The power is on display, and it's not just the power, Jenny, it's the ability to move the game along, steal a bag when you need to, and allow the offense to do its job.
Well, I think we have a really fun pitching matchup tonight here in Game 2. 2 young pitchers, both in their second years, and both having a fantastic August so far.
Yeah, for Joey Estes, this young man has continued to grow, continued to make strides. What you want to see from Joey Estes is really everything that he has shown since he stepped up, and that's that competitive nature. Over the last 2 starts, I think that has really shined through. 1-1, to heck with the win-loss. It's the ERA and it's the whip, the command for Joey Estes. 10 punch-outs, just 2 walks over those 13 1/3 innings.
And then, of course, for Cody Bradford on the other side, you're going to see the lefty, and he's put up some nice numbers as well since his return from the IL.
Yeah, and his start against the Athletics way at the beginning of this season, 6 2/3, 5 hits, just 1 run allowed. It was not earned. He walked 1, did punch out 7 on 94 pitches. Left-hander going to try to take the bump today and silence this powerful Athletics lineup.
The question is, how many home runs is he willing to give up to this Oakland A's lineup? They've already hit 15 on the road trip. It's been 4 games. We're looking forward to some more high fives and, of course, some fun. It's all coming up with First Pitch next.
A's Baseball on NBC Sports California is brought to you by Toyota, class-leading MPG, and more hybrid models than any other brand. Toyota, let's go places. And by Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service. Full service, total trust.
From the brewers at Blue Moon, a beer that's crafted bright with tangerine peel.
Rooting for the green and gold here deep in the heart of Texas. Oakland winners in game 1 yesterday, trying to win a series early here in game 2 this Saturday night as we close out the month of August. Joey Estes visualizing the start ahead of him here at Globe Life Field. Well, the month of August is going to close out a winning one. 14-11 is what this team is so far. They could get their 15th win of the month coming up tonight. That's the amount of wins they had in the month of July. The building blocks that are showing great signs of life for this athletic squad as they want to close out the season in the right way. And again, just sitting 4 games behind the Texas Rangers, middle of the pack in the AL West. They're 63-72. A's right behind them at 59 and 76. And of course, Dallas probably pretty anxious to get to the bat rack after the amount of home runs we've seen on the road trip so far.
Yeah, they have swung the bat well, and they've got a few guys that really like to hit right here in Texas. See if they just can't keep that momentum going. They have a lot of it on their side right now.
Today's Game Time weather brought to you by Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk. You don't have to worry about outside. That's 94. Inside, about 20 degrees cooler. Low 70s indoors. Here's the roof closed once again at Globe Life Field. Always appreciate that with the humid weather, and appreciate watching these A's get back to work. Let's take a look at the starting 9 today for Mark Kotze's squad. Lawrence Butler, the leadoff hitter on a tear. A 9-game hit streak for Law Dog. Able to extend it with a double late in the game yesterday. Brent Rooker right behind him. A couple of homers in game 1. J.J. Bleday, then Shea Langoliers. It'll be Tyler Nevin behind him. Daz Cameron, Zach Geloff. Armando Alvarez getting a start at third. And Jacob Wilson. So going heavy righty against that man.
Cody Bradford, left-hander for the Texas Rangers. When you go back to the beginning of the season for Cody Bradford, he opened up very nicely. Unfortunately, after his dominant outing against the Athletics, he would hit the injured list, and they really took a while to kind of figure out, pinpoint what exactly was bothering him. Thought it was a low back issue, ends up being a rib stress fracture. So he's been able to get back, get healthy, and I think the Rangers want nothing more than to see him finish healthy, which I know is a top priority for him as well.
He's thrown to Jonah Heim today, inserted into the starting lineup. Josh Smith at the hot corner. Corey Seager back at shortstop. Marcus Semien at second. Nathaniel Lowe at first base. In the outfield is Jankowski, Traveris, and Garcia from left to right. First pitch to Lawrence Butler, and he's going to watch it for a ball. We saw Lawrence fire off at the first pitch yesterday. Ended up grounding out as Bruce Bochy. Looking on, 4 World Series titles for that man. He's been at it a long time. 27th season, and that's right at Corey Seager as he comes over to the right side and connects with Lowe at first, 1 out. Here's the umpiring crew in game 2. Brian O'Nora's behind home plate. Brennan Miller slides over to first. The crew chief Chris Conroy at second. And Shane Livensparger at third. Want to bring up Brent Rooker. Man doesn't waste any time, and this time didn't like the pitch he saw. Homers 32 and 33 in yesterday's game. And there's a called strike. It's a little outside of our zone. The 1-1 count here for Rooker.
It's going to be a steady diet of fastball changeups to the right-handers. Bradford, he's got good ride on that fastball, holds its plane nicely. See him try to execute at the top of the strike zone. You see where Brent Rooker sets in the American League on the home run leader list. Just a couple behind Judge.
Just a few. Plenty of time to get there in September, you know. Rooker with 18 home runs now since July 1st. Hitting a home run about every 2.5 games, and this one's going to go foul as well.
Well, Rook was adding to the list last night. You said it, not waiting around. A couple pitches he liked early. able to make a couple deposits.
And Brent Rooker towards center field, and it's going to die right into the glove of Leody Taveras, 2 outs. Well, it's time now for our Blue Moon Light Sky, and as JJ Bleday comes up, he has not been very quiet this road trip and extending back to the homestand. A nice 6-game hit streak for him where he's hitting .407. Look at that OPS, 1,300, but you see the extra base hits. That's what JJ can do to you. 3 homers, 3 doubles, and driving in 6 runs in that time.
Yeah, and I think you're starting to see a little shorter time period in between home runs for JJ Bleday, but the extra base hits just flooding the stat line.
0-1 from Bradford, and that's going to be strike 2. So that slider early, he'd only thrown that 38 times. Coming into the game tonight, his 9th start, 10th appearance overall, and Dallas mentioned it. The last time the A's saw him so early in the season, he landed on the IL right after. And a swing and a miss. Gets JJ on the 4-seamer. First strikeout in a 1-2-3 inning. Joey Estes will take the mound next. Marcus Semien walking up to bat. He leads it off for the Texas Rangers, followed by Corey Seager after an off day yesterday. Josh Smith hitting 3rd. Luis Garcia cleaning up. Then it's low. Carson Kelly DHing today with Jonah Heim behind the dish. Jankowski and Taveras to round it out for the Rangers.
It's going to be young Joey Estes, 19th start of the season. We talked about how things have gone for Joey over his last 2 starts, the competitiveness, but really, I think you're starting to see Joey refine the command, and it's not going to happen overnight, but I think there's little things that start to click for you, whether it's a mentality, whether it's something mechanical. When it all starts to come together, I think you really start to see a guy's game evolve. And all of this happening still at a very, very young age for Joey Estes. That's something that folks need to remember.
22 years young. He'll be 23 until October. Marcus Semien to center field, and JJ Bleday will track over to his left and make the catch. Let's take a look at the rest of the defense. Running JJ in the outfield, Daz Cameron in left, and Lawrence Butler in right field. On the infield, Armando Alvarez with the start at 3rd, Jacob Wilson at short, Zach Geloff and Tyler Nevin on the right side, and then Shea Langoliers doing the catching for young Joey Estes today. That brings up Corey Seager, the first chance for fans here at home to cheer him as he walked into the batter's box. Had a nice presentation during yesterday's game as he hit his 30th homer of the season out on the road in Chicago against the White Sox, which also happened to be career homer 200. There's a called strike. This one lifted, and the ball will end up going foul as a souvenir. Oh, a nice bounce. Dallas, did you see that? Right off the concourse into the second deck, and that A's fan caught it.
That's the kind of bounce we need.
It's towards center field. J.J. Bleday coming in strong. He'll make the catch, two gone.
Just let the game come to you. That simple.
But hold on for dear life. The position he was at. Time for Josh Smith, and he squares around a bunt. It's going to go foul. See Alvarez playing closer to that shortstop position and a bit further back. And I guess the idea is get on base.
I can appreciate the commitment. It's not something that you see a lot from guys who turn around and square, show hands early in the at-bat. You essentially see zero defensive movement. There's no reaction. And for some reason, even with a first pitch ball, guys go, okay, well, I showed the hands. I guess I'll just move on to hitting now. And I've always wondered why. If that's a thought that you have the first time, what happens when he throws a ball that makes you say, I don't want to get on base that way anymore?
Right.
I mean, the defense is continuing to hand you the opening. That's what you saw. That's why you attacked it. So, I mean, in that instance, credit to Smitty for continuing to buy into his approach.
There's the 3-2 pitch, and he fouls it into the glove of Shea Langoliers, and a strikeout for Joey Estes. 1-2-3 after one, scoreless. Time now for our stats with Lowe's. The Oakland Athletics have been hitting the home run, and it has been pretty impressive. But not just that, their offense in general this road trip, 46 hits. You see that as second in Major League Baseball over that time. The 15 home runs is first. They've come up with 32 runs, also second, 99 total bases, and a lovely OPS. The offense was packed, no doubt about it, for Cincy and Texas. Shea Langoliers pops up against Cody Bradford, and Lowe will make the out.
What time now for StatCast, powered by Google Cloud. Take a look at the distribution of the long ball. 15 homers since August 27th, and here's where they have gone. I think you can see the damage probably leaning more to each pool side. But I think the idea that you have seen the doubles, the extra base hits, the homers, you've seen those to the big part of the park. We know that home runs, essentially a byproduct of a hard line drive approach at times. I think in this day and age, you see guys trying to lift the baseball. But I think if you're trying to aim towards the big part of the park, you're not necessarily trying to lift the ball to the big part. You're trying to drive the ball and catch it out front. You can watch it fly.
0-2 now for Tyler Nevin. I do feel bad, Dallas, for some of the facade out there in center fields of the ballparks we travel to, because you see the signage and you can see those dents. Shea Langoliers left one out there by that Lockheed Martin sign in the bullpen. One and two now for Nevin.
That didn't feel too good for Jonah Heim.
No.
That's just a Charlie horse right in the bicep. Ow! We got ice. It'll be all right. Just veteran feel there from Brian O'Nora. Go out, take a stroll. How you feeling, bud? Arm okay? Good little house cleaning here. How's the family? Everybody good? I'm glad you got to throw it and not me.
Well, it is the first full weekend of college football, so appropriate, right, to feel like the big hit?
Yeah, there's folks out there taking a beating for sure.
Okay. All right, calm down. My alma mater did not have the best of luck a couple hours away from here. But this is a baseball show, so we won't get into it right now.
No need.
2-2 against Tyler Nevin.
See the game plan from Bradford. Four-seam fastballs in and at the top of the zone to the right-handers. Maybe a breaking ball early. But really, he's looking to get these righties to chase that changeup down and out of the zone.
And a swing and a miss. That will go down. Second strikeout for Bradford. See right there, he hit his college ball at Baylor. In fact, his teammate was Shea Langoliers. The two very close, being battery mates in college. Circled the opportunity to compete against each other once again. Daz Cameron's been getting the regular playing time out in left field when Miguel Andujar ended up with a core injury that ended in season-ending surgery.
The opportunity for Daz to keep himself in the forefront of the skipper's mind. Put some good at-bats together.
kind of the hard contact for Daz develop and hopefully start to translate. You go back a couple games, he had a nice double in Cincinnati. An infield hit for Daz yesterday here in Texas. That's high, 2-2. This has popped up and not a play.
The idea for Daz is whether or not you feel like you're a part of the mix going forward into the future. What you have in front of you is the chance to put together those at-bats, put yourself on the radar maybe of some other clubs.
And that's going to be strike 3. The four-seamer got Cameron. 3 strikeouts for Cody Bradford to begin.
The school year is right around the corner, so grab your friends for a trip to the ballpark. College and graduate students can purchase discounted tickets up to 50% off to select A's home regular season games throughout the 2024 season. Get your discounted tickets at athletics.com/students.
Fun look at Texas Live right outside Globe Life Field, and a swing and a miss for Adolis Garcia against Joey Estes to start the top of the second. Garcia 0 for 4 in yesterday's contest. This one popped up into foul territory and not a play. Well, a 9-2 win yesterday for Oakland. This is a team that's been scoring at an alarming rate here on the road trip. Getting contributions from all the offense. Weekly grounded to Jacob Wilson. He'll gather and 1 out. It was also good yesterday, Dallas, to see J.P. Sears pick up his 11th win of the season. As the workhorse of the rotation, nice when you're rewarded.
Just good to see him bounce back after that little hiccup. Felt like that's all that really was, nothing more than just a combination of an aggressive Milwaukee Brewer club
Nathaniel Lowe yesterday had an early home run against Sears. And again, the offense just breaking out for the A's. A 2 for 4 day for Lowe. And a swing and a miss. You've seen that from Joey a little bit more, getting those swings and misses of pitches not necessarily in the strike zone, but out of the strike zone. And this one's gonna land right in front of Daz Cameron in left field. A single with one out for Lowe in the first hit of the game for the Rangers.
See Nathaniel Lowe, big left-hander. He's got some long levers tied up here, but this is just how strong these guys are. Able to sort of fight it off out there.
Bring up Carson Kelly. Newly acquired from Detroit. 16 games as a Ranger, and see the .258 batting average, but he's hitting well over 300 since being acquired by Texas. To right field, and after taking a step in, Lawrence Butler move over just a little bit for the second out.
That's something else that'll help Joey, is just not having those elongated at-bats, especially once you do find guys on base. If you're able to continue to attack the zone where you're getting these guys out of there 3-4 pitches or fewer.
There's a pitch to Jonah Heim, and that catches. Like a long time ago that Jonah Heim was an Oakland A. Go back to the COVID season in 2020. 13 games before being traded over to Texas. This one belted towards right field, and the Texas Rangers with the early fireworks in game 2. 12th home run for Jonah Heim, and it's 2-0.
He's got power from both sides of the plate. What's impressive is from the left side, he's able to go up top, get on the same level as his fastball. Not only on the same level up there, it's not easy to pull pitches up there like that. That's impressive.
And Travis Jankowski squares around the bunt. In comes Armando Alvarez, and he's going to be late to first. Well, Jankowski taking a page out of Josh Smith's book from the first inning. Saw the defense back and saw an opening to get on.
Yeah, this is one of those things as a pitcher that'll kind of get to you a bit. You give up the long ball, you're trying to gather yourself, just make another quality pitch at the beginning of the next at bat. He squares around, finds a hole, beats it out. You feel like just not able to get anything going your way right now.
Swing and a miss from Leody Taveras, a good way to start against the 9-hole hitter. That home run to Jonah Heim, that's now 7 home runs that Joey's allowed in the month of August, and it's responsible for 11 of the 12 runs that he's given up. Taking off is Jankowski, throw down, it's gonna get past the glove of Jacob Wilson. Jankowski will take off for third as JJ Bleday collects. And now you have another runner 90 feet from home.
Jankowski with excellent speed. Not a great jump, but the errant throw is what allows him to get to second safely and then skate on over to third.
Now back-to-back games where the A's have picked up an error. They had 5 games before that where they had not allowed an error.
Well, that is stolen base number 100 for Jankowski in his career.
He's become a fan favorite, doesn't play every day, but a guy that was just put on waivers and not picked up on this waiver deadline day for playoff rosters. His teammate Robbie Grossman, however, was claimed by the Kansas City Royals. This one in the air towards left field, and in comes Daz Cameron, outgoing Jacob Wilson, and it will be the left fielder making the catch. So Jankowski will remain on third, but the home run doing the early damage from Jonah Heim. It's 2-0 Rangers. Scan the QR code now to start streaming. Third inning beginning back at Globe Life Field, and fouling it back, Zach Geloff against Cody Bradford. First time through the order, Dallas, for Bradford. .234 is the batting average against. So it feels like the bottom of the order. This is perhaps the best time to strike. Really settles in after that. So far, 3 strikeouts through 6 batters faced for Bradford. And he did go, says Brennan Miller.
Remember, that's the game. Fastball's up. I think we've already seen him, and against Nevin, after elevated fastballs up or fastballs in, he's gone to that slider.
Yeah, a big swing and miss from Geloff. That's 3 straight strikeouts, 4 in total now for Bradford.
The scouting report, Jenny, I was going to finish with, you see him go to that changeup often, but here against Nevin, it was the slider. Geloff falling victim to that fastball again up top. That's where he likes it.
Armando Alvarez stepping in. He swings at the first pitch back to Cody Bradford off his glove, but he gathers in time to get the out with Nathaniel Lowe. We'll bring up the rookie Jacob Wilson. Hitting .300 in his young career. Walked and scored yesterday on J.J. Bleday's 3-run homer. He also had a hit. This one towards center field. And in fact, it's drifting more to the right side, and it will be a catch from Adolis Garcia. 9 batters faced for Cody Bradford. He's gone through the order clean once as the Rangers have a 2-0 lead. Time now for a Verizon player profile, and Joey Estes continues to improve here, 22 years old, and in this campaign you see that ERA getting better and better month by month. Here in August, 3.03, entering the final day of the month tonight. And I think for Joey, big reason why is we've seen the walks go down. The home run, as we saw in today's game, been a bit of a problem, but Dallas, what adjustments do you see Joey making here the second time through the order?
Well, I think for Joey, it's got to be about getting ahead earlier. I think the misses have been a little further away from the plate.
Marcus Semien lifting it out towards left field, and Daz Cameron with the catch, one out. For Corey Seager. Lined out to center field in the first inning. And getting ahead was Dallas's plan of attack. Does it again against Seager.
Well, it just helps Joey avoid being ambushed as he starts to encounter some of these more veteran hitters. You show the inability to not land one of your offerings. Instead of a veteran going up there giving you the benefit of the doubt, they'll just eliminate it.
One and two here against Seager. This one hit a long way, and Daz Cameron back towards the wall. He leaps for it and makes the catch. A long out for Corey Seager. And Joey Estes likes what he sees from his outfield.
I think off the bat, Daz didn't think he had it traveling this far. Ball continued to sail. Daz just sort of drifting back with it. Start to feel the dirt under your spikes. We've seen that before. It's where we see guys start to elevate.
Josh Smith, a dribbler over to first. Nevin will take it, step on the base, and Joey Estes with a nice, clean third inning. Back to the top of the order for the Athletics when we return. The Oakland Athletics, a home run hitting team. They have 15 of those over the last 4 days. How about the multi-homers? Lawrence Butler with a three-homer day, and then Brent Rooker getting in on the action as well. It's fun to see when guys hit multi-homers, and it's time now for Home Depot getting it done. They've had a player hit 2+ homers in a game each of the last 3 days. You have to go back to 1999, the last time that happened for the Athletics. Home runs are contagious. Is that right, Dallas?
That's right. See the boppers get up there. And
Lawrence Butler with a line drive out towards right field, and it skims over the wall. Right on cue for Lawrence Butler, who's joined the 20-homer club.
that right there is what I'll call a stealth bomber. Low flying damage. This is an absolute rod, a missile, a linia, torched. I don't care how you want to say it, it's worth one. And it was smoked. Absolutely smoked.
I'm gonna round up because we don't like decibels. 113 miles an hour off the bat. And Brent Rooker follows it up with a line drive into right field. So the A's saw those splits of Bradford, said first time through the order, that's when you got to get him. Oh no, we're gonna wait.
Well, Brent Rooker doing a good job of just that, waiting on a changeup arm side. He drives up that right center gap.
Four players on this roster with 20+ homer seasons now that Lawrence Butler has joined the club on his 10-game hit streak. 20 for Butler, 33 for Rooker, 20 for this guy, J.J. Bleday, and 23 for Shea Langoliers. They are the only ball club in Major League Baseball to have 4 hitters with 20 or more homers.
And you'd be hard-pressed to convince anybody of that at the beginning of the season.
And you just saw Butler and Geloff conversing. Geloff not too far away at 16 homers with 1 month left to go. He's just one stolen base away from perhaps the 2020 season. So lots of milestones still to come as this season will wind out. Langoliers patiently waiting as he watches Bleday against his former teammate in Cody Bradford. talking about Blade and his extra base hits. 60 of those, 120 hits in total, half of them for extra bases. Here's the 2-2. And he didn't go. Make it a full count.
No. Held up. Fish ain't biting.
Payoff pitch for Blade out towards right field, and backing up is Adolis Garcia. 1 out.
No time now for our forward play of the day. It's going to be old Shea Bangaliers. 6 long balls this season alone against the Texas Rangers. That's the most versus any club. Just something about it, whether it's at home, right here close to his own backyard. It's good eating for Langoliers.
It's a hit day for the kid that grew up in Keller, Texas yesterday, 2 for 5. That big blast in the 9th. And this one out towards left field. The line drive is going to be caught by Travis Jankowski.
And that's the tough part about a guy like Bradford out there on the mound. You know you're going to get some soft stuff. And even if you're sitting on it and you get it, I know a lot of times hitters feel like, well, I picked my pitch out, I got it, I should probably do something with it. Well, that's the tough part, is Bradford, he's not always going to give you something hittable, even though it might be your pitch, the one you were looking for. Shea just did a good job of going down and getting a changeup, but not able to find any openings.
Nevin struck out on the slider from Bradford in the 2nd inning. Nevin's playing in his 71st game for the Oakland A's this season. That's 30 more games than he had last year with Detroit. Taking off, and now a pickoff situation as the tag's made. Safe underneath it as Brent Rooker slides under Marcus Simeon's glove.
You see Brent Rooker sort of shaking that right arm. He hit the ground and maybe didn't slide as much as he thought he was going to, but it's a very athletic play by Brent Rooker. Oh, first move on the left-hander right in his face. But watch the hand. You see the glove from Simeon come down just a little too late. Rooker already on the bag.
Stolen base number 8 for Rooker. Nevin to left field and lifted right to Travis Jankowski. Home run from Lawrence Butler. Make it 20 for the Law Dog. Oakland trailing by 1, middle of 4.
Your green and gold and stay after to race around the bases on the same field as your favorite A's players. You can get your tickets now at athletics.com/kidsfree.
I want to bring up Adolis Garcia. And called strike as Joey Estes continues to get ahead. Not sure if you caught it, buddy, but he had a big fan in the crowd.
No,
It's his Dallas.
Yeah. I mean, the great color scheme, I'll take that.
I'm pretty sure that you're kind of a big deal at the airport. You sell a lot of merch.
Tons.
Sell a lot of merch next door at that other team's games, too. Over the glove of Armando Alvarez, and that's going to head into left field as Garcia leads off with a single.
Again, Garcia maybe not having quite the year he would like. A big part of what the Rangers offense did last year. You're talking about a guy who almost 40 homers, just crushing the baseball. But now the average down, the power output not quite there.
A couple guys not having quite the surge that they collectively did in the World Series 2023 campaign. Still a month left here in 2024, but I think you can probably add Nathaniel Lowe into that category just in terms of the power numbers that he produced over the last couple of years. 17 homers last season, the year before 27. Hit his 11th and 12th home run, though, here in this series. Or, excuse me, his 11th home run yesterday. It's high. And a swing and a miss. Joey Estes will take strikeout number 2 against Lowe and keep Garcia right where he is.
Beautiful attack plan from Joey here late in the count. Up and by Low.
Brings up the DH and Carson Kelly. I think the beauty about getting to watch Joey Estes this year is we often find ourselves using the word competitor, right? This is the guy that likes to go out there. He doesn't like to give the ball up. He wants to kind of put the team on his shoulders and compete, but I think it's the growth that you've highlighted so well that you get to kind of see unfold time over time over time. We still have another month left, and that's what I think is exciting about when you think of September and what Joey Estes can do before the end of the season.
We start to pinpoint the things that you really want to focus on if you're Joey Estes. And I think over these next 4 or 5 starts or whatever he may have left under his belt headed down the stretch, that's where you want to center the focus, and that's where I think you start to create a separate report card from your overall production and the things that you know that you wanted to iron out, the things that you wanted to just get a bit better at. You know, and I think, honestly, the mental aspect of what Joey Estes is out there doing. You take the strikeout for Nathaniel Lowe, for instance. It was a change up, elevated. He gets the result. But I can promise you that in terms of execution, probably wanted a little different result. It's not often that you find a guy that you can intentionally elevate off speed to.
Full count here for Kelly. Pitch 7 of the at-bat. Garcia taking off again. A dribbler back towards Estes. His play will be at first, and they'll get the out with Garcia now in scoring position. Just a little swinging bunt. How would you like to see Estes make that adjustment against Heim, who gave up the 2-run homer to?
Well, it might be a bit of a backwards approach this time around.
This is a ground ball towards Alvarez. A nice sliding play and on to first. So Joey Estes getting out of it after giving up a leadoff single. The Rangers will leave one on.
This is still the hottest deal as we wrap up summer. You can buy one premium, get a second game for just $5. This offer includes bobblehead games, drone shows, and more. So act fast and pick your pack today at athletics.com/pickyourpack.
We just left Cincinnati, where you could order Skyline chili, what, 3-4 ways? Now the Whataburger you can get.
Oh.
1, 2, 3, 5.
Or you could also overnight express deliver yourself in an Outburger.
Really?
Yeah.
No.
Yes, if you wanted a burger and those were your options, that's what you would do.
I see what you did there. I mean, you did go to college in this great state, so you've probably had a few.
Which absolutely helped build that appreciation for the other joint.
1-2 here to Daz Cameron. Talk about building innings. That's been a trend here on this road trip for this offense. Yes, we've seen the excitement. We've seen the homers. Just finding a way now to chip away, playing from behind. The ground ball, the deep shortstop, and a long throw for Corey Seager. Played on a bounce by Lowe, and the out.
Credit to Lowe there. Seager got rid of it quickly. Just able to help clean things up on the back end.
Brings up Zach Geloff. Geloff looking for his first hit here in Texas. It's 4 for 17 in Cincinnati. Excuse me, 4 for 17 on the road trip. Had 4 of his hits come in Cincinnati. And you're talking about some of those little goals that you can set for September for Joey Estes as he finishes strong. I think for Zach Geloff, you can kind of start to create some of those goals too. And some seem more obvious, as we talked about potentially a 2020 season. But what else would you like to see from Geloff as the focus narrows with the month ahead?
Well, as much as we've talked about this entire lineup, and that includes the non-starters, using the opposite field or the big part of the field, I think that is just one of the foundational keys to an approach for a guy, especially if you're struggling.
And there's another strikeout for Geloff, 2 outs.
And it's just because it simply forces you to see the baseball a little longer, maybe trust some things, as opposed to being aggressive. And I think you just try to get back to a point of simplification. Now, it's not a complete and total rebuild by any means, but I think when you start to take a look at the swing and look at the pitches that you're able to get to and how you're getting to them, and so I think for Zach, and this is, Jenny, where the day and age of information that we live in, and especially as ball players, you've never had more of that available to you. That's where that stuff comes into play. That's where all of the analytical analysis comes in.
Alvarez hits one towards left field, and the line drive will be caught by Jankowski. He'll continue to come in. 3 up and 3 down once again. Create or join a private Yahoo Fantasy League and enter the $1 million NBC sweepstakes. Earn extra entries to win when players on your fantasy roster score a touchdown during an opening weekend game on NBC or Peacock. Download the redesigned Yahoo Fantasy app or go to yahoo.com/fantasymillion to learn more. First pitch strike to Travis Jankowski from Joey Estes.
Get ahead, stay ahead. 14 first pitch strikes for Joey Estes.
Jankowski getting the start after being placed on waivers this week. Mentioned his teammate Robbie Grossman was claimed by the Kansas City Royals today. In fact, the Royals, Dallas, they really went for it on the waiver wire. They got Tommy Pham from St. Louis and Yuli Gurriel as well from Atlanta. They've been one of those fun teams to watch in the Central. And they're now breathing down the neck of the Guardians 2.5 games back.
It's reinforcement season.
Yes, it is. And that's strike 3.
Slider right under the hands. Jankowski just looking for something else, looking for something away, out, over.
Tavares fouls back the first pitch. Tavares flew out to left field back in the second, and that's something we're seeing in terms of outs today. 5 fly ball outs for us as compared to the 4 ground ball outs. And a swing and a miss finishes off Tavares. Back-to-back strikeouts for Joey, and the slider working again.
There you go. Spin it to win it. That's the other thing you want to see is we've talked so much about identifying the breakdowns in yourself as a pitcher and as a rookie, as a young guy. I think it's also imperative that you're able to identify in the moment the things that are working well for you and why.
First pitch for Simeon, and that's going to go under the glove of Jacob Wilson into left field. 2-out single for Marcus Simeon.
We thought Jay Willie had a beat on this. Ball just stayed down. Continued to scoot through this quick infield. You know, I think that's something else that I've noticed about the infield. And I think just the surface in general. A little speedier. No, it's not that rubber that you're used to. Different filling. That ball starts to hug that low surface, that low turfus area, moves right onto the hard dirt. That thing just continues to pick up speed.
And a swing and a miss. So Joey Estes striking out the side after a Marcus Simeon single. He'll be left on base. And a nice inning of work for the young Oakland A. Rangers up 2-1 as we head to the 6th inning. It'll be Jacob Wilson, Lawrence Butler, and Brent Rooker due up for the A's. Two and 0. Even at 2-2 now. And for Cody Bradford, this final month will be interesting for him in terms of the starting rotation and solidifying himself in the rotation. You have Jacob deGrom trying to work his way back. Max Scherzer also doing the same. We'll see when Scherzer pitches again at a bullpen yesterday that they seemed pleased with. You know, Jacob deGrom's scheduled for a couple more rehab starts before he enters the starting rotation. They did option Dane Dunning, who we saw in relief yesterday. And I think if you kind of look at the body of work of Cody Bradford, for us just studying him coming into the game, it looks like he's doing pretty good.
Well, and you know, for Max Scherzer, I can understand wanting to get back, but free agent next year. Obviously, he's dealt with some major health issues recently.
Popped up to low. He'll head back to the grass and make the catch.
You know, I can. Time now for our T-Mobile coverage cam. And the Law Dog has been laying the law down, laying the lumber. Said, you might be the Rangers around here, but I am the law.
And Lawrence wastes no time, swings at the first pitch towards center field, and it's going to go off the glove of Taveras as he leaps Butler into second. And how about another extra base knock for Lawrence Butler?
And the ball flight on that home run poolside and that double right there just to the left of center, very similar. Backspun. I mean, watch this thing just take off. And we have seen Taveras at times just run balls down for no good reason other than he's a great athlete, pretty good defender, and instead he just gets out-hustled by an absolute laser.
Love seeing those numbers from Lawrence Butler. 455 in the 5 games here in the road trip. Has a 10-game hit streak rolling. These moments so good for him. We talk about the team as a whole to prove back-to-back months. You know, it wasn't a fluke in July to have a winning month. Backed it up with a winning month here in August. And same for Lawrence in the way that his offensive numbers have gone from July into August. Of course, Brent Rooker doing the exact same. These two in tandem together and making up for a really nice 1-2 combo in the American League. JJ Bleday waiting on deck. Bradford will walk Butler back to second. For Rooker, since July 1st, 58 hits for him. Driven in 43 runs, has 90 total RBI. Can he add another? Here, he'll have a full count to do it.
Marcus Simeon jockeying a little over there at second base. 3-2. Pay attention. And Lawrence Butler, just make sure.
And Simeon backs up right before the pitch. It's fouled off from Rooker. There's that game that Simeon and Butler are playing. Nice job by Lawrence Butler, just serving it into right field, and here comes Lawrence Butler. Rooker to second. Brent Rooker with an opposite field hit and driving in another run for a tied game.
For the second time in as many at-bats between Butler and Rooker, both fellas back-to-back knocks. It was the double from Butler to left center, and now J.J. Bleday does a phenomenal job of expanding his zone, not only elevated, but this pitch well outside off the plate. He just shoots it right down that right field line. That is a beautiful piece of hitting. You know, that's the type of execution right there that I don't think ever gets lumped in to a guy being a great hitter, because I think if you look at StatCast, they'll tell you that, you know, the exit velocity, barrel edge, just nothing attractive about it, except for the fact that he's standing on second base and he's driven a run in. I like that. That's attractive.
Trading places, good name of the game. Back-to-back doubles for the A's with Mr. Double in the box and J.J. Bleday. "36 doubles for him. 20 home runs, 0 for 2 today. Here's the 0-2. He goes towards left field and foul. One and two. JJ, a Vanderbilt product. Watch his team with the big upset today. And a swing and a miss here. He'll go down on strikes. 2 outs for Cody Bradford. We'll let the Baylor boys battle. Bradford an All-American, Shea Langoliers an All-American. Two know each other well, and Shea's been on the over side against his former battery mate here this season.
Well, if it's a backwards approach, let's see if Bradford dials in the fastball here. We've seen him go fastball in. But again, he started Shea off with that little breaking ball. And I think that right there is the conversation that they're having. Do they want to go in there with the fastball right now? Do they want to double up soft and try to finish him with the hard stuff late? Here's their fastball now from here, 0-2 against a guy who is very familiar with how Bradford likes to go about his business in these situations. He could very well try to go up top with that fastball, stay in the same spot. We told you about the changeup, but we've also seen him use that slider to these right-handers, as opposed to that changeup at times.
Festa starting to warm up for the Rangers. 82 pitches here for Bradford. The 0-2 outside.
Well, if he's working off a miss, he's got a chance to maybe try to backdoor that breaking ball. Don't know that that's what he wants to do here with 2 strikes. Let that right-handed hitter see it a while.
2-2, a borderline pitch at the bottom that Shea spit on.
Fastball painted at the bottom. Taking some work here from Bradford. Now his 25th pitch this inning on its way.
And a swing and a miss. Bradford wins against Shea once again, but the Oakland A's have tied it up. Back-to-back doubles from Lawrence Butler and Brent Rooker. Living right, middle of 6.
Celebrate Latin and Hispanic Heritage Night presented by Corona on Friday, September 6th when your green and gold take on the Detroit Tigers. Purchase a special ticket that includes a Latin and Hispanic Heritage football jersey and a ticket to the game. Get your tickets today at athletics.com/tickets.
Called strike to Josh Smith, and about Road Trip Mike getting the selfies in. Where's the selfie stick?
Boy, get it in. For the gram.
A little disappointed in Road Trip Mike as this one's hit towards right field. A bounce in front of Lawrence Butler, and Josh Smith on with a single.
Well, and Josh Smith doing a little raking here. Ball away. He goes out, gets around it.
Brings up Adolis Garcia. One and 0, and so I'm disappointed in Road Trip Mike because he's a fan of the green and gold all around. That includes Notre Dame, who's playing just down the road against Texas A&M. So I said, "You're not going?" He goes, "No, I'm not missing this game." So I'm not disappointed because he's chosen the athletics game, which is smart by him. I said, "Man, you're a stone's throw away." He said, "I had a ticket, but I sold it. I'm going to 81 road games." So a man of his word.
He is. That's what makes him so great.
It does. He has the full jersey collection. Wore JP Sears yesterday. Got the win for the pitcher today. He's wearing the Joey Estes jersey. Garcia 1 for 2. There's the 2-1, and it's fouled back. So Joey's only had a clean inning, 2 out of the 6 so far in the contest. Last 2 innings of traffic, able to get out of it. Trying to do it here with the double play. Alvarez on to second and too late at first, but they'll get the lead runner and Josh Smith for the first out on the fielder's choice.
I can appreciate Alvarez sticking with it there. Something we have seen this infield do, and that's really aimed to get that lead runner regardless of how far they've had to range, especially up the middle. We've seen Jacob Wilson and Zach Geloff. Alvarez with a strong throw.
Max Schumann getting a day off his feet today. He has been grinding, to say the least. You don't get the Heart and Hustle Award without being in there almost every day.
Well, I think that's what's really nice about having a guy like Alvarez here is he's somebody that you can move around. He's somebody that's absolutely ready to play anywhere you pencil him in. He's hit the ball hard a couple times.
Swing and a miss now, 0-2 for Nathaniel Lowe. And a swing and a miss, making it 6 strikeouts for Joey Estes. He gets low on the slider.
Well, you see where this pitch is? Maybe not elevated in terms of being on that top shelf of the strike zone, but I mean, that is right there on that shelf that's eye level, if you will. It's middle, but that's another breaking ball. First one was the changeup that he got low on. This a slider.
Called strike to Carson Kelly.
But the fact that Joey Estes, even with 2 strikes, unafraid to attack in the zone, you'd love to see that.
Check over on Garcia. We got the same game plan here for Carson Kelly in the 0-2.
Well, he's at 83 pitches. You want to get rid of him, but you also don't want to make a mistake here. With Garcia on, you don't want to extend the inning.
And a swing and a miss. The sweeper gets him. Back-to-back punch-outs for Joey Estes. Tally 7 total through 6 innings. the Coliseum to cheer on your A's. Scan the QR code or visit athletics.com to purchase tickets. Well, there's Joey Estes, 6 solid innings, and Mark Kotze coming over to let him know you did it. You got the job done. Love what you did, and now it's time for the offense to get back to work. Tyler Nevin, hard contact to left field, but it turns into the first out.
Well, and let me tell you, the initial reaction from Joey Estes is, well, I feel good. I feel good, but I guess.
Let's be honest, as a pitcher, when did you ever tell the skip, yeah, you're right, tap me out?
Yeah, I don't know that there's a way to say that. I mean, that's how the conversations go. You go out there and, hey, how you feeling? I feel great. Well, because the catcher hasn't caught the last 3 baseballs. They've all gone over the wall. Are you sure you feel good? Feel great.
Feeling good still. Got the next one. And Joey Estes, that's that competitor in him. He just finished off 6 innings with back-to-back strikeouts. Of course you feel like you want to get back out there. A 2-2 game here in the 7th, and we talked about the late innings. This is where the A's have been able to shine. Cameron hanging in there. Five of the 9 runs yesterday scored from the 7th inning on. And swing and a miss from Daz. For turning it up, or excuse me, Bradford turning it up, and 8 strikeouts now.
Well, yeah, those 8 strikeouts will tie a season high.
I think an impressive statistic when you study Cody Bradford and what he's done this year. You look at his whip, it's below 1. 0.94, and of course doesn't qualify to get on any sort of list, having just 49 innings coming in to this game tonight. But if you're a manager, if you're a pitching coach, that's something you can work with.
Well, no doubt it tells you that he's competing.
And a swing and a miss from Geloff, 2-2.
You know, you don't walk guys, and maybe you give up a couple knocks. It just tells you that you're not afraid to throw strikes late in the count, trying to get rid of guys instead of trying to get them to chase and punch out the world.
Geloff in the air to center field, and Leody Taveras with the catch. A's go down in order once again. A tie ball game as we stretch here at Globe Life Field.
by Toyota. Class-leading MPG and more hybrid models than any other brand. Toyota, let's go places. By Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service. Full service, total trust. And by Mancini Sleep World. Visit Mancini Sleep World for the Labor Day sales event or visit sleepworld.com.
There's a Hall of Famer. Adrian Beltre going into Cooperstown this year. That's a big-time bobblehead. If we don't have a Dallas Braden one of those soon in the booth.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Talk to somebody.
I don't know about that. They've got a lot of those bobbleheads here at the ballpark, those giant life-size bobbles. Best part about it is Beltre can't get me if I hit him on top of the head.
It's true. Grant Holman in now for the Oakland A's, and when it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your trusted oil change, tune-up, and repair experts.
7th appearance for the rookie right-hander. We see guys and their workload start to increase. I think you can understand why you might be getting looks and more looks at guys.
Popped up for Jonah Heim. Armando Alvarez into foul territory with a grab, one out.
See Alvarez say, thanks, Bobby. You got first base coach Bobby Crosby standing right on top of the steps, right near the stairwell. And that's the kind of help you need if you're a corner infielder, really just anybody charging after a ball in foul territory. You got room.
Inside to Travis Jankowski, 1-0. It's nice to have that help in earshot. Let's look at Bobby. Talking with Joey Estes, fantastic job today for the 22-year-old. 6 innings for him, gave up the 2 earned runs. I think something, Dallas, that we didn't get to during his outing, but you look at Joey, 22 years of age, over 100 innings pitched this season with the 6 today, 107 in total. There's just 3 pitchers in the big leagues with those kind of statistics being 22. It's a young age to be a starter. Kyle Harrison of the San Francisco Giants, one of those, as this is on the ground and charging. It'll be Jacob Wilson to make the play.
Outstanding hands from Jacob Wilson. I mean, if you were going to go with 2 hands, it was going to have to be quick and fluid, just like this. You can see that just the time and the space that has to be covered with that exchange. I think you might see some guys try to go in there and barehand that.
Outside to Leody Taveras. I agree with you. I think that's a barehanded play we see more often than not. Great job by the young shortstop and Jacob Wilson. And this is going to be a flare getting there. Jacob Wilson, he can't catch it though. Armando Alvarez picks it up, and Taveras made his way to second.
Seems like this ball just ever so slightly continued to work itself away from Jacob Wilson. You know, one of those where how it feels like when you're running in a bad dream and you just can't get anywhere, you're not making any headway. Kind of feels what it looked like for Jay Willie there, just trying to get that extra step underneath him. Now TJ McFarland starting to warm up.
When there's a meeting on the mound, we'll get a brief word from Jack in the Box.
I invited Deadpool and Wolverine over to whip up some mini Chimmy Bang Bangs. That was a mistake. Welcome to Jock in the Box.
So now it'll be up to Grant Holman to get #1 hitter for the Texas Rangers and Marcus Semien.
Well, don't make the mistake in. Get it in there if you're going in there.
This one popped up on the left side, foul territory. Shea Langoliers throws his mask and gets over the on-deck circle to make the catch. Inning over after the double. A runner left on, and it remains tied at 2 after 7. Time now for our Rolaids relief stats as you take a look at David Robertson coming into pitch in relief. Climbing up the charts, most strikeouts by a reliever in MLB history. He has 1,137 of those, 5 shy of Francisco Rodriguez. See where he ultimately will end up on that list. Right now responsible to try and get some outs here in the 8th inning. When it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your trusted oil change, tune-up, and repair experts.
And I think a lot of folks forget about the time that D-Rob spent in a bullpen out in the Big Apple.
Seth Brown with a swing and a miss, pinch hitting now.
And figure out how to finish ball games, how to pitch in high leverage situations.
And that's just foul down the first baseline.
I always bring this story up when we talk about David Robertson, just because of, I think, the work that he's been able to do out of the bullpen over the course of his career. But you know, it was Roy Halladay who had the conversation with Mariano Rivera at the All-Star game about the cutter. And so you think about a guy like David Robertson spending essentially every day at the ballpark with a guy like that early in his career. If you're looking to finish ball games and you're looking to be a dependable, high leverage, late inning reliever, I don't know that there are many names better suited to be teaching those lessons.
And probably extra special for Robertson then to just pass Mariano Rivera on that all-time strikeouts list by a reliever. And a swing and a miss from Brown. Another strikeout added to the name of Robertson as he begins the 8th. Jacob Wilson swings at the first pitch. Looks like that caught Heim, and he's like, yeah, I've had a few of those today.
Yeah, that bicep probably still barking a little.
Wilson to shortstop. Corey Seager gets his counterpart 2 gone.
And much like we saw Jacob Wilson do, Seager quickly able to create an angle for himself.
So that brings up Lawrence Butler, and man, this home run got out in a hurry, and it didn't have much of a launch angle to it either, did it?
No, it feels like if that wall is 10 feet high, that ball was about 14 feet off the ground the entire way.
The apex of the homer at 40 feet. There's only been 2 others in the big leagues this year that have been less than that 40 feet, and that's only the second time in this ballpark we've seen an apex of 40 feet or less. In fact, Ezekiel Duran actually had it 39 foot 1. But what a testament to the contact that Lawrence Butler's making it, how he's making it. Locked in and doing damage.
And the fact that you've seen him make multiple adjustments throughout the season, and the success has, in my opinion, sustained upon re-arrival.
This one to second. And it'll be Simeon with the assist. Inning over. To the bottom of the 8th we go, tied at 2. Time now for our Toyota game summary. It was a nice outing for both starting pitchers today. Joey Estes lasted 6 innings, gave up 2 runs off a 2-run homer to Jonah Heim. Cody Bradford on the other end, 7 innings pitched for him. Also gave up 2 runs, and Lawrence Butler 2 for 4 today, including a solo home run on his end. All tied up at 2. And it's now Tyler Ferguson in, facing Corey Seager. Swing and a miss. 0-2.
Well, Tyler Ferguson has been a guy, as we've seen, and we've talked about it. You know, Mason Miller getting a lot of work in as of late.
And a strikeout to begin is a good sign. And that guy has hit a lot of home runs this month.
Well, and the reason you have seen Tyler Ferguson in these spots, and in spots where Mason Miller may not be available, it's because he has the ability to do this. At any point in time, give you a good fastball. You know, I think he's another guy who has just really benefited from regular usage, high leverage situations. See, we've got Max Schumann on in now. He'll be playing third base. Seth Brown over at first.
One and two. Schumann will take the spot of Tyler Nevin in the batting order. So in the 9th inning, he'd be due up 4th. Got the big boppers in front of him. Ready to do some damage, hopefully, if they can keep it a tied ball game here under Tyler Ferguson. And a swing and a miss. Ferguson off and running with back-to-back punch-outs.
Fergalicious.
Xfinity keeps A's fans in the zone with the fastest speeds and a connection you can rely on in the biggest moments. Stream live sports from the best seat in the house. Xfinity, bring on the good stuff. And the good stuff comes in the form of the letter K right now for Tyler Ferguson.
Kirby Yates, stopper for the Rangers.
No 0-2 on Adolis Garcia. As he takes his time out. Pitch from Ferguson, a swing and a miss, and Tyler Ferguson striking out the side. We move on to the 9th in a tied ball game with Brent Rooker, J.J. Blade, and Shea Langoliers set to come up.
by authority of the Oakland Athletics and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Athletics Investment Group, LLC.
All tied up at 2, top of the 9th. Can the Oakland A's strike late again? Got the right guys to do it, starting with Brent Rooker. When it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your trusted oil change, tune-up, and repair experts.
Shoots, brah. It's Kirby Yates. Appearance number 51. The man from paradise.
A Hawaiian native. And he gets the first out in foul territory as Lowe makes the catch. And Brent Rooker will head back to the dugout. One pitch, one out. Feels pretty good for a reliever. Let's see what JJ Bleday can accomplish here. Six-game hit streak on the line for JJ. That's a good sight to see. Mason Miller warming up. He'd like to put a run on the board before he comes in.
Yeah, one of these will do. Let the man of the dish get it done. Slider from John Gray went a long way.
Two, and this will be out of play.
Jimmy Kirby Yates coming off a pretty good month in July. He's kept it going here through the month of August. Month of July, 11 appearances, 1.80 ERA, 15 punch-outs over 10 innings.
And he had an all-star appearance smacked in the middle of that month as well. Here's the 2-2. Missing and a full count now for JJ Bleday. And a swing and a miss. Yates wins the battle, 2 down.
There's the calling card, that nasty split. Kirby Yates. Pretty good command of that pitch for Kirby Yates. Anytime you got a, what we consider a field pitch like a split, one that you really have to get comfortable with. At times it's the pitch guys just tell you, look, set the grip and let it eat.
Outside to Shea Langoliers. Shea Langoliers on the ground. It's going to find a hole into left field, and Shea reaching base with 2 outs here in the 9th.
You need base runners, no question about that. Shea able to sneak one through this speedy infield.
They'll bring up Max Schumann for the first time here tonight. Came in as a defensive replacement in the bottom of the 8th, and now Schu will face Kirby Yates.
Well, don't sleep on a Max Schumann double that brings Shea Langoliers around to score. With 2 outs, speedy catcher. He'll be hoofing it. See if Schu can't create a little late game magic.
Yates checking over on Langoliers. And delivering the 1-1. Schumann in a good 2-1 count here. Make it 3-1.
Now it's time to shrink the zone, look for your pitch.
Daz Cameron waiting on deck, hoping it comes to him. And take your base. Max Schumann will walk on down to first as Langoliers moves into scoring position with Daz Cameron coming up.
Well, Daz has gone down on strikes twice tonight. See if he can't get a fastball. Hey-o. Get him a fastball up that he can drive. Kirby Yates, no problem clipping the bottom of the zone, working that splitter off of it.
Daz Cameron's hitting 300 with 2 outs and a runner in scoring position. And now down 0-2.
Well, the offense has been on fire. Talk about 7th inning or later. Looking for another big knock right about now.
Here's the pitch, and ends up going off of Daz's bat as a foul ball.
Well, I know folks at home might be thinking, well, why didn't he sell it? Well, because for that reason right there. You see Darren Bush on the phone, and he's talking to a guy who just watched that video right there.
And they are going to look at it. Well, Katse kind of gave the cans signal that a lot of managers do and then started running out of the dugout.
Oakland is challenging.
But they did get the call from the dugout just in time. So here comes the challenge, and they'll head back to New York to take a look at that very same video.
Well, look, for Mark Katse right now, this is about potentially getting another base runner.
Absolutely.
And that's why you go to this challenge. Now, I think you might even see stuff on the screen here that I've got, but see a little movement on the finger, maybe? But again, right now it's the 9th inning. feel like this is an opportunity with your hitter down 0-2. You can take a look at the cameras and have them go over it. You might have yourself a third base runner.
Nothing else. It makes Kirby Yates wait it out. Throwing some warm-up pitches now.
This is where all the different camera angles and the field mics and all of these things kind of come into play here. If you can get all that information in one clip, you'd love it.
After review, the call on the field stands. Foul ball. Oakland will lose its challenge.
Well, kind of how I thought that one would go when you see the trajectory of the baseball off the knob of the bat, firing downward very quickly. You didn't get much of a reaction from Daz.
Still alive for Daz Cameron. Here's the 0-2 from Yates. Fouls that back. Here's the pitch. And Daz is on it, trying to stay alive and see if he can't square something up. See Geloff waiting on deck, would love to get to him. It's a guy that's had 10 RBI in the 9th inning this year, tops in the major leagues. Good eye from Cameron, 1-2. These are not easy at bats. Daz Cameron hanging in tough after a swinging strike and a called strike, able to foul 3 straight pitches off, have a challenge in between, and now take 2 balls to even up the count. See if Yates goes back to the fastball here. Cameron lifting it to left field, tracking back Travis Jankowski, and he'll be able to make the catch. He's got a couple of base runners, but the threat remains on the base path. Still tied at 2 as we head to the bottom of the 9th.
we've still got 2 more Sundays left this season. You can join us for our next Alumni Sunday with Eric Burns, Adam Rosales, and myself. We'll be signing autographs starting at 11:35 a.m. in the Eastside Club on Sunday, September 8th. A game ticket is required for entry, so get your tickets at athletics.com/Alumni Sundays.
The low personality group that they chose, right?
Yeah, we'll be all right.
High entertainment value for Alumni Sunday. Looking forward to that. Tyler Ferguson keeps working here, looking to stop the bottom of the 9th threat from the Texas Rangers. Keep this game tied and force it to extras. 1-0 to Nathaniel Lowe. Carson Kelly and Jonah Heim behind him.
Oh, that may have got him.
Yeah, it did. So after striking out the side in the 8th, an early base runner after Lowe's hit by a pitch.
Not how you want to start things off here. Putting a runner on to lead the inning off.
Something we saw in the finale against the Reds. A couple of different relievers coming in with hit by pitches, and the Reds ended up rallying for a walk-off. Swinging at the first pitch for Carson Kelly. This is going to be shallow, and Lawrence Butler won't have a play. In fact, it'll bounce right by his glove, but luckily able to keep Lowe at second base.
Well, this was going to be a tough play for whoever it was that was going to get close. You can see it go up, start to drift. Geloff knew he wasn't going to have a shot. Lawrence Butler coming in, just trying to scoop it up quickly, maybe even make a play, make a throw on Lowe at second base, because Lowe's got to hang out and make sure this ball doesn't get caught. He sees it down, heads to second. Ball past Butler. Outside of that, no harm, no foul. That'll bring Ezekiel Duran now into the ball game for the Texas Rangers, who will be running from Nathaniel Lowe at second base.
There's a look at Duran. Carson Kelly at first, and Jonah Heim, who had the 2-run homer earlier in the game, up. He swings at the first pitch to center field. Excuse me, to shallow center field, and Zach Geloff. Jacob Wilson will make it back for the catch. Big out with Heim gone. Travis Jankowski up with 2 on. Two and 0. Carlin looks ready. And now 3-0. All 4 pitches missing. Travis Jankowski loading the bases. Scott Emerson will jog out.
Well, this is twofold right now. Hi, how you doing? Let's calm it down and throw strikes. But hey, here, this is what we need to do right now to get our out. Tanner Taveras, how are you going to go about your business? You got nowhere to put Taveras. And I can promise you it's a guy just looking to spray it around, and you can see what Bobby Crosby's doing right now, moving the outfielders around, telling them, hey, keep this ball in front of you. You got to be ready to come up hosing. That's what, hey, outfielders, check me out. Check me out. Let's go. Keep it in front. We get a hard ground ball through the infield. You got to be ready to let it go.
See a couple more steps in for all 3 outfielders, and here's Leody Taveras. Infield in and a called strike.
Well, again, if Taveras is up there just trying to lift a ball, maybe, just maybe, he's not able to get enough behind it, just sort of flips it up out in the outfield. You never know. With Duran out there, they try to force the issue.
Ferguson shook off the first pitch. He'll step off.
0-2, you got to make sure.
Here's the pitch, and it's low. And this is the ground ball that's going to get through as Duran comes home to score, and it's a walk-off win for the Texas Rangers to even up the series.
Well, just an unfortunate series of events here late in the ball game. A very well-pitched ball game on both sides. But it's the Texas Rangers and a combination of their discipline and timely hitting that are able to get the job done here in the 9th. Just a fastball away. Taveras knew it right off the bat. Back up the middle. Nobody can get to it. And the Texas Rangers leave the green and gold on the field.
A's fall to 3-2 on the road trip, and both losses coming in walk-off fashion. The month of August closes out a winning one, though, 14-12. We'll move on to September tomorrow with September call-ups. We'll wrap this one up. Stay tuned for Toyota A's post-game live, which starts right now.